So we're going to be doing Module 27, Operant Conditioning. It is currently 9 o'clock at night. I'm hoping to get through this one, then do the other ones tomorrow because they're less pages. So, yep, let's begin. So, there we go, finally focused. Looked like I was recording on a 3DS and a little bit earlier. Okay. It's one thing to One second, sorry. I'm going to be slurring a lot more considering it's late and I'm really tired. It's one thing to classically condition a dog to salivate to the sound of a tone, or a child to fear moving cars. Okay, sorry. But to teach an elephant to walk on its hind legs or a child to say please, we turn to operant conditioning. Classical conditioning and operant conditioning are both forms of associative learning, yet their differences are straightforward. Classical conditioning forms associations between stimuli, us yes and the US it signals. It also involves respondent behavior, automatic responses to a stimulus, such as salivating in response to meat powder and a later response to a tone. In operant conditioning, organisms associate their own actions with consequences. Actions followed by reinforcers increase. Those followed by punishments often decrease. Behavior that operates on the environment to produce rewarding or punishing stimuli is called operant behavior. Okay. So, classical conditioning forms associations between stimuli. Operant forms associations with behavior and consequences. Sorry, I forgot the word. What? Might as well equate me to a drunk driver at this point. I'm driving the show. Got him. Not an actual car. Because I don't have a license, and that'd be really bad. Okay. TC is respondent behavior. And biological responses. Operant conditioning is operant behavior. And reinforcement. /punishment. Okay, that's a good starting point. Okay. Skinner's experiments. Skinner, I hardly know her. B.F. Skinner was a college English major and aspiring writer who, seeking a new direction, enrolled as a graduate student in psychology. Oh my god, my phone's about to die. In psychology. He went on to become modern behaviorism's most influential and controversial figure. Skinner's work elaborated on what psychologist Edward L. Thorndike called the law of effect. Rewarded behavior tends to reoccur, and punished behavior is less likely to reoccur. Using Thorndike's law of effect as a starting point, Skinner developed a behavioral technology that revealed principles of behavior control. By shaping pigeons' natural walking... My phone is like overheating too. And pecking behaviors, for example, Skinner was able to teach such unpigeon-like behaviors as walking in figure 8, playing ping pong, and keeping a missile on course by pecking at a screen target. Where's figure 8? Where is the figure? There it is. Woo! Hello, focus. There we go. Cool. There we go. For his pioneering studies, Skinner designed an operant chamber, popularly known as a Skinner box. The box has a bar, a lever that an animal presses, or a key, a disc that animal pecks to release a reward of food or water. It also has a device that records these responses. This creates a stage in which rats and other animals act out Skinner's concept of reinforcement, any event that increases the frequency of a preceding response. What is reinforcing depends on the animal and the conditions. For people, it may be praise, attention, or a paycheck. For hungry and thirsty rats, food and water work well. Skinner's experiments have done far more than teach us how to pull habits out of a rat. They have explored the precise conditions that foster efficient and enduring learning. Okay. Got a drink. We're on to the iced tea now. I'm going to try to read faster because I want to go to sleep. Okay. I should really plug in my phone, actually. So it doesn't freaking die. That would suck. There we go. Okay. So let's go on to outlining. So what do we read on the other page? Skinner. Right. Thorndike. Okay. Thorndike came up with the law of effect, in which rewarded behavior, oh my god, I spelled that so wrong, occurs more. I'm just gonna write occurs more. And punished behavior occurs less. Very cool. Yeah, Skinner boxes. Okay. Operant chambers allowed Skinner. Glad he didn't live up to his name. Crazy name, by the way. You'd think he'd be skinning cats or something. Oh, my pencil's broken. 1 second. There we go. Skinner to perform controlled experiments on animals to test operant conditioning. Cool. Okay. Reinforcement increases previous behavior. Spelled that wrong. I hear someone coming up the stairs. Okay. Shaping behavior. Focus. Hello. There we go. Imagine that you wanted to condition a hungry rat to press a bar. Like Skinner, you could tease out this action with shaping, gradually guiding the rat's actions towards the desired behavior. First, you would watch how the animal naturally behaves, so that you could build on its existing behaviors. You might give the rat a bit of food each time it approaches the bar. Once the rat is approaching regularly, you would give food only when it moves close to the bar, then closer still. Finally, you would require it to touch the bar to get food. By rewarding successive approximations, as Sutherland did with her husband, you reinforce responses that are even closer to the final desired behavior, and you ignore all other responses. By making rewards contingent on desired behaviors, researchers and animal trainers gradually shape complex behaviors. Shaping can also help us understand what nonverbal organisms can perceive. Can a dog distinguish red and green? Can a baby hear the difference between lower and higher pitched tones? If we can shape them to respond to one stimulus and not the other, then we know that they can perceive the difference. Such experiments have even shown that some non-human animals can form concepts. When experiments reinforced pigeons for pecking after seeing a human face, but not after seeing other images, the pigeon's behavior showed that it could recognize human faces. In this experiment, the human face was a discriminative stimulus. Like a green traffic light, discriminative stimuli signal that a response will be reinforced. After being trained to discriminate among classes of events or objects, flowers, people, cars, chairs, pigeons can usually identify the category in which a new picture object belongs. They have been trained to discriminate between the music of Bach and Stravinsky. Skinner noted that we continually reinforce and shape others' everyday behaviors, though we may not mean to do so. Isaac's whining annoys his dad, for example, but consider how his dad typically responds. Could you take me to the mall? Dad, I need to go to the mall. Yeah, in a few minutes. Dad, the mall. Show me some manners. Okay, where are my keys? Isaac's whining is reinforced because he gets something desirable, a trip to the mall. Dad's response is reinforced because he gets rid of something adversive, Isaac's whining. Or consider a teacher who sticks gold stars on a wall chart besides the names of children scoring 100% on spelling tests. As everyone can then see, some children consistently do perfect work. The others, who may have been worked harder than the academic all-stars, get no rewards. The teacher would be better advised to apply the principles of operant conditioning to reinforce all spellers for gradual improvements, successive approximations towards perfect spelling of words they find challenging. That's a good idea, actually. Okay, 1 second, let me take a drink. Okay. Let's see. So shaping is the first thing. Shaping reinforces behaviors close to the desired one in order to eventually receive the response in a whole. That's a weird way to word that, but it's too late to care. Yeah. Approximations, yeah. They're called approximations. So, approximations. I should probably write that. Approximations are the close attempts. Cool. Okay, next is discriminative stimulus. I spelled that wrong. Stimulus is the distinct stimulus that signals there will be a reward. Cool. Alright, and then there was, what else? Nope, that's it. Yep, okay, one more drink. How many more pages do we have? Probably so many. Oh my god, that's literally a wall of text. Oh, that one's not that bad. Is that it? Okay, that's it. So it's that page, that page, that page. Okay, I can do this. Hey, I might as well use these on me. I'll give myself some treats if I did this. Reinforcers. Types of reinforcers. Until now, we've mainly been discussing positive reinforcement, which strengthens responding by presenting a typically pleasurable stimulus immediately after response. But as the whining Isaac story illustrates, there are two basic kinds of reinforcement. Negative reinforcement strengthens a response by reducing or removing something negative. Isaac's whining was positively reinforced because Isaac got something desirable. A trip to the mall. His dad's response, doing what Isaac wanted, was negatively reinforced because it ended an adversive event. Isaac's whining. Similarly, taking aspirin may relieve your headache, and hitting snooze will silence your irritating alarm. These welcome results provide negative reinforcement, increase the odds that you will repeat these behaviors. For those with drug addiction, the negative reinforcement of ending withdrawal pangs can be compelling reason to continue using. Note that negative reinforcement is not punishment. Some friendly advice: repeat those italicized words in your mind. Negative reinforcement is not punishment. Rather, negative reinforcement, psychology's most misunderstood concept, removes a punishing adverse event. Think of negative reinforcement as something that provides relief from that whining teenager, bad headache, or annoying seatbelt alarm. God, I hate that alarm. Sometimes negative and positive reinforcement coincide. Imagine a worried student who, after goofing off and getting a bad test grade, studies harder for the next test. This increased effort may be negatively reinforced by reducing anxiety and positively reinforced by a better grade. We reap the rewards of escaping the adverse stimulus, which increases the chances that we will repeat our behavior. The point to remember, whether it works by reducing something adversive or by providing something desirable, reinforcement is any consequence that strengthens behavior. Very cool. So, positive reinforcement strengthens behaviors by adding something good and negative reinforcers strengthens strengthen behavior by taking away something bad. Very cool. Oh my god, I gotta get through this. Primary and conditioned reinforcers. Getting food when hungry or having a painful headache will go away is innately satisfying. These primary reinforcers are unlearned. Conditioned reinforcers, also called secondary reinforcers, get their power through learned association with primary reinforcers. If a rat in a Skinner box learns that a light reliably signals a food delivery, the rat will work to turn on the light. Delight has become a conditioned reinforcer. Our lives are filled with conditioned reinforcers. Money, good grades, a pleasant tone of voice, each of which has linked with more basic rewards. If money is a conditioned reinforcer, if people's desire for money is derived from their desire for food, then hunger should also make people more money hungry, reasoned one European research team. Indeed, in their experiments, people were less likely to donate to charity when food deprived, and less likely to share money with fellow participants when a room with hunger-arousing aromas. Okay, let's write that one. Well, we can just keep going. Immediate and delayed reinforcers. Let's return to the imaginary shaping experiment in which you were conditioned a rat to press a bar. Before performing this wanted behavior, the hungry rat will engage in a sequence of unwanted behaviors, scratching, sniffling, and moving around. If you present food immediately after any one of these behaviors, the rat will likely repeat that rewarded behavior. But if the rat presses the bar while you were distracted and you delay giving the reinforcer, if the delay lasts longer than about 30 seconds, the rat will not learn to press the bar. It will have moved on to other incidental behaviors, such as scratching, sniffling, and moving, as one of these behaviors will instead get reinforced. Unlike rats, humans too respond to delayed reinforcers. The paycheck at the end of the week, the good grade at the end of the term, the trophy at the end of the sports season. Indeed, to function effectively, we must learn to delay gratification. In one of psychology's most famous studies, some 4-year-olds showed this ability. In choosing a piece of candy or a marshmallow, these impulse-controlled children preferred having a big one tomorrow to munching on a small one right away. Learning to control our impulses in order to achieve more valued rewards is a big step towards maturity and can later protect us from committing an impulsive crime. Children who delay gratification have tended to become socially competent and high-achieving adults. To our determined, small but immediate pleasures, the enjoyment of watching late-night TV, for example, are sometimes more alluring than big but delayed rewards, feeling rested for a big test tomorrow. For many teens, the immediate gratification of risky, unprotected sex in passionate moments prevails over the delayed gratifications of safe sex or save sex. And for many people, the immediate rewards of gas-guzzling vehicles, air travel, and air conditioning prevail over the bigger future consequences of global climate change, rising seas, and extreme weather. Jeez, it's almost 10 o'clock at night, man. We're almost done. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, we're almost done. Okay, good. Almost there. Okay. So, primary reinforcers are reinforcers. Wow, really? That satisfy a biological need. Secondary reinforcers what did it say? Condition. I'm gonna write condition in parentheses. Are learned rewards associated with a primary reinforcer. Very cool. Immediate reinforcers are effective for animals, humans have self-control, some of them, and can wait for better rewards. Delayed reinforcers. Reinforcement schedules. In most of our examples, the desired response has been reinforced every time it occurs, but reinforcement schedules vary. With continuous reinforcement, learning occurs rapidly, which makes it the best choice for mastering a behavior, but extinction also occurs rapidly. When reinforcement stops, when we stop delivering food after the rat presses the bar, the behavior soon stops, is extinguished. If a normally dependable candy machine fails to deliver a chocolate bar twice in a row, we stop putting money into it, although a week later we may exhibit spontaneous recovery by trying again. Real life rarely provides continuous reinforcement. Salespeople do not make a sale with every pitch, but they persist because their efforts are occasionally rewarded. This persistence is typical with partial intermediate reinforcement schedules, in which responses are sometimes reinforced, sometimes not. Learning is slower to appear, but resistance to extinction is greater than with continuous reinforcement. Imagine a pigeon that has learned to peck a key to obtain food. If you gradually phase out the food delivery until it occurs only rarely, in no predictable pattern, the pigeon may peck 150,000 times without a reward. Slot machine reward gamblers in much of the same way, occasionally and unpredictably, and like pigeons, slot players keep trying time and time again. With intermediate reinforcement, hope springs eternal. Lesson for parents and babysitters. Partial reinforcement also works with children. Occasionally giving in to children's tantrums for the sake of peace and quiet intermittently reinforces the tantrums. This is the very best procedure for making a behavior persist. Skinner and his collaborators compared 4 schedules of partial reinforcement. Some are rigidly fixed and some unpredictably variable. Here we go. Might as well keep going. We're almost done, right? Yep, almost. Actually, no. I'm gonna rate this first. I feel like that'll help. So, let's see. We have reinforcement schedules. Are when often reinforcement occurs. Continuous? I feel like that's self-explanatory. Continuous. So I'm just going to write as partial. Partial lasts longer. But longer to learn. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Fixed ratio schedules reinforce behavior after a set number of responses. Coffee shops may reward us with a free drink after every 10 purposed. Once conditioned, rats may be reinforced on a fixed ratio of, say, 1 food pellet for every 30 responses. Once conditioned, animals will pause only briefly after reinforcement before returning to a high rate of responding. Variable ratio schedules provide reinforcers after a seemingly unpredictable number of responses. This unpredictable reinforcement is what slot machine players and fly fishers experience. And it's what makes gambling and fly fishing so hard to extinguish even when they don't produce the desired results. Because reinforcers increase as the number of responses increases, variable ratio schedules produce high rates of responding. Fixed interval schedules reinforce the first response after a fixed time period. Animals on this type of schedule tend to respond more frequently as the anticipated time for reward draws near. People check more frequently for the mail as the delivery time approaches. Pigeons peck keys more rapidly as the time for reinforcement draws nearer. This produces a choppy stop-start pattern rather than a steady rate of response. Variable interval schedules reinforcement the first response after varying time intervals at unpredictable times. Food pellet rewarded Skinner's pigeons for persistence in pecking a key. Like the long-forward message that finally rewards persistence in checking our phone, variable interval schedules tend to produce slow, steady responding. This makes sense because there's no knowing when the waiting will be over. So, fixed ratio, boop, 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 boop. Variable ratio, woo, woo. Fixed interval, whoop, whoop. It's almost time, whoop. Variable interval, waiting. Steady, 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 like that. Very cool. This is the same thing. It's just in chart form. Okay. Almost there. And general response rates are higher when reinforcement is linked to the number of responses, a ratio schedule, rather than time. But responding is more consistent when reinforcement is unpredictable than when it is predictable. Animal behaviors differ, yet Skinner contended that the reinforcement principles of operant conditioning are universal. It matters little, he said, what response, what reinforcer, or what species you use. The effect of a given reinforcement schedule is pretty much the same. Pigeon, rat, monkey, which is which. It doesn't matter. Behavior shows astonishingly similar properties. All right, let's write some down. Fixed ratio, I'm just going to abbreviate it. Fixed ratio is certain amount of behaviors, certain number behaviors, variable, ratio, random number behaviors, fixed interval, set amount of time, and then variable interval, random amount of time, variable amount of time. Very cool. Almost there. Punishment. Second. Sorry about that. Okay. Punishment. Reinforcement increases behavior. Punishment does the opposite. So while negative reinforcement increases the frequency of a preceding behavior by withdrawing something negative, a punisher is any consequence that decreases the frequency of a preceding behavior. Swift and sure punishers can powerfully restrain unwanted behavior. The rat that is shocked after touching a forbidden object and the child who is burned by touching a hot stove will learn not to repeat those behaviors. Criminal behavior, much of it impulse, is also influenced more by swift and sure punishers than by the threat of severe sentences. Thus, when Arizona introduced an exceptionally harsh sentence for first-time drunk drivers, the drunk driving rate changed very little, but when Kansas City police started patrolling a high-crime area to increase the swiftness and sureness of punishment, that city's crime rate dropped dramatically. What do punishment studies imply for parenting? One analysis of over 160,000 children found that physical punishment rarely corrects unwanted behavior. Many psychologists note 4 major drawbacks of physical punishment. Punished behavior is suppressed, not forgotten. This temporary state may negatively reinforce parents' punishing behavior. The child swears, the parent swants. The parent hears no more swearing and feels the punishment successfully stop the behavior. No wonder spanking is a hit with so many parents. That's not fun. It's not funny. That's not a funny joke. With 60% of children around the world spanked or otherwise physically punished. Ugh. Don't do that to your children. Punishment teaches discrimination among situations. In operant conditioning, discrimination occurs when an organism learns that certain responses but not others will be reinforced. Did the punishment effectively end the child swearing, or did the child simply learn that while it's not okay to swear around the house, it's okay elsewhere? Punishment can teach fear. In operant conditioning, generalization occurs when an organism's response to similar stimuli is also reinforced. A punished child may associate fear not only with the undesirable behavior, but also with the person who delivered the punishment or where it occurred. Thus, children may learn to fear a punishing teacher or try to avoid school, or may become more anxious. For such reasons, most European countries and 31 U.S. states now ban hitting children. Let's go in schools and child care it should be banned in a lot more than that, guys. Stop hitting children. Stop hitting on children. Stop hitting children. There should be nothing with hitting on children. Okay. As of 2017, 51 countries outlawed hitting by parents. Let's go. A large survey in Finland, the second country to pass such a law, revealed that children born after the law passed were indeed less often slapped and beaten. Physical punishment may increase aggression by modeling violence as a way to cope with problems. Studies find that spanked children are an increased risk for aggression. We know, for example, that many aggressive delinquents and abusive parents come from abusive families. We're so close. Some researchers question this logic. Physically punished children may be more aggressive, they say, for the same reason that people who have undergone psychotherapy are more likely to suffer depression, because they had pre-existing problems that triggered the treatments. So, does spanking cause misbehavior, or does misbehavior trigger spanking? Correlations don't hand us the answer. The debate continues. Some researchers note that frequent spankings predict future aggression, even when studies control for pre-existing bad behavior. Other researchers believe that lighter spankings pose less of a problem. That is especially so if physical punishment is used only as a backup for milder disciplinary tactics, and if it's combined with generous dose of reasoning and reinforcement. My parent never hit me at all. Never. Do not hit kids. Parents of delinquent youths are often unaware of how to achieve desirable behaviors without screaming at, hitting, or threatening their children with punishment. They should not be parents. Training programs can help. Communication is important, guys. Training programs can help transform dire threats. Apologize right now, or I'm taking that cell phone away. Into positive incentives. You're welcome to have your phone back when you apologize. Oh, that just sounds condescending. Stop and think about it. Aren't many threats of punishment just as forceful and perhaps more effective when rephrased positively? Thus, if you don't get your homework done, I'm not giving you money for a movie. Could be phrased more positively as... What? Sorry, what? Anyway, in classrooms too, teachers can give feedback by saying, no, try this, and yes, that's it. Such responses reduce unwanted behavior while enforcing more desirable alternatives. Remember, punishment tells you what not to do. Reinforcement tells you what to do. Thus, punishment trains a particular sort of morality, one focused on prohibition, what not to do, rather than positive obligations. What punishment often teaches, says Skinner, is how to avoid it. Most psychologists now favor an emphasis on reinforcement. Notice people doing something right and affirm them for it. So close to being done. Okay, let's go to the little layout and then we'll read the last little bit. So, let's see. Punishment, we'll write about positive and negative punishment. So, punishment decreases behaviors. Positive punishment, I spelled it wrong. Positive punishment adds something bad. Positive means add. To decrease behavior. Negative punishment takes away something good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's do the little list they have. So, punishment reinforces parents to abuse. I'm going to call it abuse because that's what it is. But kids to just suppress. It teaches discrimination and and to hide undesirable behavior in certain situations. Okay. Punishment, it teaches fear. By association. Yeah, by association. Generalization. / association. And lastly, it could increase aggression. Aggression by modeling. Okay. Cool. Okay. Skinner's legacy. Almost done. Oh my god. It's like 9:48. B.F. Skinner stirred a hornet's nest with his outspoken beliefs. He repeatedly insisted that external influences, not internal thoughts and feelings, shape behavior. He argued that brain science isn't needed for psychological science, saying that a science of behavior is independent of neurology. And he urged people to use operant conditioning principles to influence others' behavior at school, work, and home. Knowing that behavior is shaped by its results, he argued that we should use rewards to evoke more desirable behavior. Skinner's critics objected, saying that he dehumanized people by neglecting their personal freedom and by seeking to control their actions. Skinner's reply: external consequences already haphazardly control people's behavior. Why not administer those consequences towards human betterment? Wouldn't reinforcers be more humane than the punishments used in homes, schools, and prisons? And if it is humbling to think that our history has shaped us, doesn't this very idea also give us hope that we can shape our future? Very good point, Skinner. Very good point. I agree with you. You're really just a collection of the entirety of your past consequences and decisions. You're one giant choose-your-own-adventure book. I agree with you, Skinner. Okay. Yeah, so I think I'll just write that Skinner did not believe in personal freedom. He didn't. For good reason. We're not really equipped for that. I mean, like, our brain makeup with our genetics and stuff also forms us, but this is also a big factor. I feel like our brain makeup plays off of our experiences. So, yeah. But I do agree with him a lot. So, yeah. Cool. I think that's it. That's as good as I think it should be. Alright. Bye. Good luck on test. I'm gonna go to sleep.